One of the most frustrating things in being someone who works to further communication for all of the things I work on, to work on community building, to work on correcting fear, uncertainty, and doubt, or correcting, problems and helping users, is the fact that so many people who are out there are resistant to moving outside of their realm of complaint into a mode of trying to improve something. And so, as I reach out to users on Reddit and Twitter and other things like that, it is oftentimes the case that I need to figure out, am I supposed to be in empathetic mode here or sympathetic mode? Or do you actually want to fix the problem? And this has been a major problem for me. This has been a major problem in my life beyond just like technical help or anything else like that. It is something that is a challenge for me to understand what is the paradigm in which this person is operating at the moment. What is the way in which people are attempting to interact? Are you looking for help? Do you want to improve something? Do you want to see the world change because of the thing you're saying? Or are you just upset? Are you just angry? And so, this happens whether I'm having a discussion on Twitter or whether I'm having a discussion in a mailing list or whether I'm having a discussion in my home. Do you want to fix or do you want support? Do you want to vent or do you want a logistical help? And this, as I said, is a challenge for me all throughout my life. And it took me a long time to realize that that's what the difference was. That there are some times when someone is in a state, in a mode, in a mood, where what they're looking for is to fix their problem, but not all the time. And if you try and take someone who is looking for empathy and you give them logistics, it won't work. It won't help them. It won't help you. They can't interact with you in the way that they need to in order to do that. And so when someone says, God, I'm so upset that this is happening, you have to look at it and say, well, do you actually want to talk about whether this is happening? Or do you just want support? Because I'm happy to be a shoulder here for you, right? Like whether you're talking about, lost subs on YouTube or whether you're talking about, whether, feeling inadequate in the amount of whatever you got done this week, whether you're feeling upset at a technical issue or a social issue or the state of the world, all of those things require different interactions. All of those things require different levels of support. All of those things require different approaches to how you interact with and correct the situation, or don't. And so this is the biggest piece of advice that I have to people who are wanting to reach out to others is before you reach out, before you try and fix things, before you do anything else like that, try and figure out if that's what someone actually wants. Pay attention to their mood, to their language, to their words. Probe, but don't insist. And so this is something that I oftentimes am looking for with streamers, right? Like, it is sometimes the case that I am sitting here going, like, your stream is buffering every 7 seconds, and I've already told you 3 times, and you know this, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you're just trying to power through it. Or for me, for example, it is often the case that I know that my stream goes to shit, and I've done whatever I can, and I just kind of sit there for a little bit. And when I'm in that mode, I don't want everyone to tell me, did you try restarting your router? I don't want people to tell me, have you tried not using Wi-Fi? I don't want people to tell me all these other things, because most of the time I figured it out, and I'm happy for the feelings, the emotions, the empathy, the sympathy, but I don't need the logistics because I'm pretty good at this, and by continuing down that path, you're not helping either of us very much. But it's something that you have to explicitly communicate. So both as someone who wants to help other people and someone who might, be looking for help, it's important to think, what is the next thing that I can do? How can I communicate this more clearly? And so, for example, I was having a conversation the other day and someone said, I feel bad offering this help because I feel like I'm calling the other person stupid by suggesting it. I said, instead of phrasing it as a statement, phrase it as a question. Hey, did you think about this? And if the answer is then yes, then say, great, you don't do anything. You just say, okay, great, I'm glad you thought of it. Like, I don't have to worry about it. Like, that's fine. But if the answer is no, then you can get a sense from their response after that. Are you looking for help? Or are you looking for sympathy? So the biggest piece of advice is when you're reaching out to other people, when you're interacting in the world, when you're reaching out to try and solve a problem, as many, at least technical people are oriented to do, I think many guys oftentimes are oriented to do, and certainly I am oriented to do, regardless of which descriptor you apply to me, I will always tend to be targeting the logistics and everything else like that. I have to keep in mind that targeting logistics is not always what everyone is looking for. It's not always what everyone wants, and it's not always what you should be looking for to try and offer the most assistance to someone that you care about. I'm the Chris who plays games, and this has been your little piece of world advice for today.